Hey there, Wondering Watchers. I'm Sony Golden for The Vibe is Golden. Welcome to this edition of Tabloid Tarot, where we unveil celebrity news stories that might hit the tabloids next and dig into old scandals that still cause a stir. In today's Tabloid Tarot, we're taking a peek at the future spouse of Harry Styles. This reading expands on the other reading I did on Harry's future career and marriage. I will put a link to that video in the description box for those who have not yet seen it. But now let's take a look at a message to Harry from his future spouse. Bobcat Spirit, life is a mystery. Hierophant. Rest, listen to your body, mentally and physically unwind. Saraswati, enlightenment. And manifestation. So this manifestation card has that vibe of the magician, really kind of tapping into your own energy, recognizing what you possess innately, and kind of combining that with what's going on in the world around you to kind of create what you want for your reality. With this kind of Hierophant here, that with this lantern almost like seems like the Hermit, and this enlightenment card, it's a sense of really Harry having the ability to kind of go outside of, I guess, the traditional aspects of what he's used to, or not even go outside of it, but just learn about his world, his beliefs, and expand that to like other cultures, other societies, other, I guess, planes or dimensions even, especially with this life is a mystery card, almost kind of encouraging Harry to embrace the unknowns and to kind of, I don't want to say challenge authority or the establishment, because a Hierophant is almost like kind of relying on traditions and the authority of like established institutions, but kind of almost saying for him to really embrace what's there, what's known, like the traditional aspects, but be open to exploring more, because like tapping into that unknown might be able to really help him manifest even a greater life for himself, or even to manifest this connection with his future spouse. With this Rest card, I'm more focused on the listen to your body, mentally and physically, really trusting himself, really trusting when he needs kind of time away from what he's known, or like what he has, I guess, grown up believing, and it's making me think about the video I did on his future career and marriage, where he's kind of looking at the things that may have caused him fear or hesitations, or caused him to tense or recoil, and actually intentionally looking at those things and embracing a greater knowledge of himself and how he can play with his identity and, you know, what he can kind of creatively put out there in the world. So here, I feel like it's almost like trust yourself, maybe even take some time away from the establishment to kind of follow your own internal voice and energy to kind of expand in a realm that is like greater than he has experienced before, known. So let's get some more cards here to find out some characteristics of Harry's future spouse. We have white hair, green eyes, dark lipstick, and messy. Okay, so I feel like Harry's future spouse with this messy card is almost like maybe not an intentional slob, but more that they are okay not being not being just themselves, like trying to operate in the confines of expectations of others. So someone who may even like color outside the lines intentionally to kind of reflect their more individualistic spirit. This, dark lipstick, green eyes, white hair. This seems like physical characteristics that can be changed with contacts or what is it called? Hair dye. But I feel like there's going to be some point in time where this person will have these kind of like physical characteristics. And also, I feel like it kind of goes in with that messy of trying to switch things up intentionally, possibly with how they look or their identity. Maybe it's part of their career. Maybe it is part of them exploring, how they feel about themselves. But let's get some more information about Harry's future spouse. We have here the Ace of Wands, Lovers, the Hermit, and the World. These are some major arcana cards and like major like spiritual lessons going on here, which kind of and this Ace of Wands, like this concept of like the universe having an opportunity for Harry or even his future spouse to like take advantage of, to kind of be inspired, to be creative, to like be motivated, to like take a chance on life almost. Really that concept of life is a mystery and just going after like what they want. I feel like this is very much like I feel Harry's future spouse, there were or are a lot of newness, maybe a lot of needing to move around different locations, or a lot of needing to recreate their identity, or I don't want to say reimagine themselves, but there are those opportunities to really like explore new things. Maybe just like I said, like moving around, experiencing new cultures, experiencing new places, which kind of could be tied in with that message from the future spouse to Harry about learning those things too. With the Lovers and the Hermit here, it's as if they are very much like using their life experiences to grow. They don't feel like they need to appease other people. Not that they are actively, flipping the bird to everybody, but more that there's times when they're going to be alone by themselves, and it allowed them to tap into their desires, their wants, their needs, so that they can be in that position to truly commit on their own terms to, whoever it is they want. Here, Harry. And this card, the World, is also making me think that this person may have traveled a lot when they were younger, or still travels as part of their job. But they are experienced in life for sure. And I feel like they are pretty much very confident in who they are, what they want. And they are okay with this messiness. They're okay, like things not cleanly lining up, because they have enough experience in life and confidence in themselves, and confidence that the universe will give them exactly what they need to grow and evolve. It's like they are, I want to say, very confident, very sure of themselves, very, maybe not necessarily need to be spiritual per se, but very much like to question reality, spirituality, creativity, and kind of things that aren't really there in the physical world, but you know exists. Or maybe you don't know exists, but like emotions. People can't see emotions per se, but we all experience them. We all know they exist. So that kind of concept. So let's take a look more at Harry's future spouse. We have this crepe myrtle, life and death. So like that concept of life and death, being intrigued by what that transition looks like, what there is besides, not besides life or death, but what there is after your life here on Earth, like those kind of concepts. We have cotton, utility, and advantage. So Harry's future spouse, they're someone that really is resourceful, kind of pull themselves up from their own bootstraps types of things, maybe even taking a bunch of like odd jobs just to pursue their passions, almost recognizing that there's nothing wasted in life. And you kind of do what you need to do at that time to kind of keep going forward, keep pushing ahead. We have here swamp lily, stagnation, and entrenchment. So I get a sense that things haven't always come easy for Harry's future spouse, which is possibly why, this utility and advantage card is here, needing to kind of pick up odd jobs and so forth. I feel like they always have been in a position of going after what they want, and that almost dress for the job that you want, not the job that you have, but that they've really had to work their way up in whatever industry, whatever career path, wherever they are in life. It's like they had to, it hasn't always been easy, but they've always kind of made their way forward despite the circumstances. We have this imagination, variety, fantasy, and mind. So I get that sense of this person being very much a creative individual with this imagination. It could be that they are, in the entertainment industry, either someone who does acting, does script writing, kind of is tied in with this Ace of Wands and this belief of knowing that there's something out there that's greater, that life is a mystery, really looking at the what ifs in life. We have this justice card, equality, neutrality, and logic. So Harry's future spouse here, I feel like maybe they were raised in a household that was, I don't know if strict, but there was very much rules to follow, and a sense of kind of it doesn't matter what you're born into, what situation you're born into, because everyone kind of has the ability, if they're following this Ace of Wands, if they're embracing that the knowledge that they can accomplish more, that great possibilities are out there, embracing the mysteries of life and accepting what's out there. It's kind of like what you put into your career, what you put into your relationships, you'll get that out of it. And we have this luck card, jackpot, fortune, and reward. So like I said, I feel like Harry's future spouse might not have always had it easy. Maybe people kind of thought, maybe they get a lucky break, or, how they kind of move forward in life might be seen as luck or happenstance, but it's more this belief of going after what you want and kind of not letting your dreams, kind of not let other people tell you how to dream and how to get there. So let's take a look at more of Harry's future spouse and Harry. We have this adapt card. So I feel like not necessarily that there's going to be ups and downs in their relationship, but this concept of adapting, really seeing that there's more to the world than what Harry initially knows, and really accepting things as they come and seeing how to change I think that's like something they'll do together. Maybe Harry's future spouse will kind of help him to really embrace his life experiences, to embrace those mysteries, and like transform the confusion and fear into a sense of personal power and ability to kind of work with those unknowns to create what he wants. We have this on course card, so I feel like it's almost as if, you know, there is always a sense of, I want to say like a stability to their relationship. Not a lot of ups and downs. This justice card, this concept of equality, this is, associated with the sign of Libra. So maybe his future spouse is a Libra or an air sign. Could be any spouse, or any sign, but more a sense of even keeled. And this clear sailing card, I feel like get this a lot in the future spouse readings, where it's almost like there's not any back and forth, like their relationship, it's like on course, smooth sailing ahead. It's kind of like a natural course of things, not necessarily like a, makeup, breakup type of craziness going on. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a few more cards, and then I'm going to get into more of a separate spread of like where Harry's spouse is with respect to aligning with their life purpose. So we have this maturity card. Like I said, I feel like Harry's future spouse has a lot of life experiences and has really gotten to the place of knowing what is a kid's dream versus being creative, imaginative, and going after what you desire and love. We have this guarded card. So I feel like Harry's future spouse is not someone who's going to wear their heart on their sleeve and be very much like, everyone is wonderful, like I'm going to let everyone into my world. I feel like they are selective about who they let into their inner circle. And it could be because of like, they are really trying to maintain this like worldview, sense of self, sense of kind of almost acting in line with their higher self, where they're just not going to let other people in. They're not going to let other people who might want to drag them down, or who are like not even killed, or people who are like on a drama roller coaster type of thing. It's as if those are the people that his future spouse would like definitely be guarded from. And we have this communications card. So they're going to be able to have this clear sailing, smooth kind of relationship because they are going to be able to communicate well, especially with this Lover's card and the sense of the world and the Hermit, like really a place of knowing themselves, and knowing what needs to be communicated, especially to have this sense of like justice and fairness with their relationship. So here, I'll go ahead and pull a few cards to see about Harry's future spouse, where they are right now in terms of connecting with their higher purpose in life. And so here we have the 7 of Wands. So this is how they're like currently connecting with their higher purpose. I feel like this is about that guarded part where I'm not going to let certain people into my life because I want to connect with my beliefs, my higher purpose, and not really letting others kind of come in to mess that up. And in terms of what the future spouse is here to master in life, we have the Knight of Wands. So kind of really going after the Ace of Wands opportunities, being someone who is creative, passionate. Again, that concept of movement and not being afraid to move to go after what they want. So let's see, in terms of what the future spouse can offer their friends and family, we have the King of Wands. So really helping others to take, take life by their hands and like go after what they want. I feel like this person is very much outspoken, doesn't necessarily need to, again, like that concept of messy. I'm not going to follow other people's rules. I'm not going to adhere to one thing or expectations that other people have, and helping others in their, connection also do that. It's almost like this concept of this message up here of life is a mystery, enlightenment, manifestation, kind of like what this message is to Harry, I feel like would be the message this person would give any of their close friends and family. Like, go after what you want, just be loyal to the people or the causes that you feel you're passionate about, and like kind of stick to your word type of thing. Be the person that be your own hero. And in terms of what this person offers like the world in general, we have the Four of Pentacles. When I'm looking at this card, I get a sense of like taking up space and not necessarily backing down, not necessarily telling everyone, hey, I'm here, pay attention to me, but taking up space and being in touch with their own feelings, their own desires, their own ability to, create change, gather resources, communicate, like very much being in touch with themselves and taking up space and making sure that they are good with themselves and building up that world around them. So I feel like this person may kind of offer other people the opportunity, like they don't have to end up being that King of Wands, but at least showing that this is kind of like you take care of yourself first. You figure out who you are first, and then you start being able to recognize your environment, and then who you want in your environment in terms of like what energizes you, what makes you thrive, and then exploring beyond that to like questioning the world and your place in it, and then getting even bigger into like your experience in the universe. And again, this concept of life is a mystery, I feel like it starts with making sure you're okay, listening to your body, giving your body, your mind, what it needs to be strong, and then kind of like going from there. So I'm going to pull a couple of cards here. These are just court cards to get some, to see in terms of like how they are pursuing their life purpose or pursuing their career, what characteristics that would have. We have the King of Wands again. And we have the King of Pentacles. So I feel like this person, they have almost a lot of like masculine energy. And I think that is that concept of knowing who they are, that it's confidence. It's a sense of really having the life experience to know kind of where what they're talking about, or to back up their beliefs and what they're going after. With this King of Wands, that concept of being a leader, kind of, and even with the King of Pentacles, that both of it is like being a leader, taking care of themselves financially, being passionate about what they do. With all this one energy, this fire energy, maybe they are a fire sign, but I feel like there's definitely this concept of imagination, creativity, and really being okay with putting themselves out there to have other people see them, see how they operate, and see that they are pretty much what they say they'll do is what they actually do. And I'm going to pull a couple more cards here. So I feel like they, again, concept of like an actor, someone who is like, could be like getting into producing, someone who has their own business. But I'm going to pull a couple of archetype cards to kind of get a sense. Oh, well, we'll take these two. Why not? So we have this card of gossip, awakens considerations for the feelings of others, honoring trust, and shadow attributes, thrives in the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. So this, I feel, is like Harry's future spouse is going to be someone who is okay being the center of attention and doesn't care what this gossip is, doesn't care about criticisms. Like, they're just not taking it. They're just like, I'm going to take what I want. I'm going to pursue my goals, my dreams, and whatever you have to say is, that's on you. But I'm going over, like, what's important to me is trusting myself and this Lover's card, like knowing myself well enough that I can trust the people that I'm letting into my life. And I have this Alchemist card. Light attributes are transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. Shadow attributes, misuse of power and knowledge that come through spiritual practice. So with this Alchemist card, I get a sense that Harry's future spouse is all about transformations. And again, I'm going back to the white hair, green eyes, and dark lipsticks. I almost get a sense of like taking on a lot of different roles. And this utility advantage card, like doing a lot of different things and kind of seeing how you can take a little bit of this in your life and a little bit of that and change it into something amazing. And really, like, almost this concept of alchemy, this concept of like taking, it's almost like the Temperance card, taking ingredients and mixing it together, blending it together in a certain way to kind of create the life that you want. I feel like this ties into that life is a mystery and that concept of the Hierophant, of like almost, I feel like this person lives life, explores the outer edges of what's acceptable and not acceptable, and pushes the envelope so that they can kind of see like where other people might limit themselves and only operate in that realm, going outside those limits and kind of creating a stir, creating like something that is shocking to others, but really building off of that to make themselves even more powerful and greater. So I feel like this person would be in the limelight. They are someone who has a lot of confidence, masculine energy, maybe dresses in a certain way that is more masculine. Maybe it's someone who is a male, but I feel this is more someone who has taken on where did this card come from? A networker, okay? Enhances utility through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy, and then conveying information for personal gain and so forth. So I feel like this kind of goes in with that concept of the gossip. So I feel like they are someone who is in the spotlight, would have a lot of news articles about them, kind of talking about how they live, like how their life might be shocking. So I do get a sense that they are someone in the entertainment field, and I do get a feel of them being more like the type of person that worked their way up, tending bar or working retail as they were trying to break into the business. So thanks for watching this edition of Tabloid Tarot. We'll see you next time. Take care.